What is up? Welcome back, y'all, to another edition of Marketflow, powered by THOR, presented by me, Mode. The candles are being pulled up and down. People are getting bearish. Some people feeling bullish. I don't know. We knew these levels, so there's no panic here at Cyberfrogs. We're going to get right into Bitcoin. We just filled the Thor long, the Thor short for Bitcoin. We finally hit the bottom for this short call here at 64.4. We've been looking at this call for a month now. So coming down to this range was really no surprise to us. We were aware that we may visit it. That being said, we're going to zoom out just a little bit here. And you can see the DCA area that we had set up at 62 has held over and over until one time we tapped that lower zone. We're actually sitting above last all-time highs and people are feeling bearish. I really don't understand it. Now, that being said, we do have some bearish low zone calls for Bitcoin posted by Thor. Down here at 42, down here at 32, all the way down here at 17K, which is kind of insane to think that Bitcoin may see those levels while we're post having in a bull run. All we need to do is break this last local high of 72K for those calls to be invalidated, right? Looking at what I think is, so those zones are absolutely possible. What I see as more probable if we take a dip, I still see 62 as a good area to DCA. I still see 56 that held this strong support, good area to DCA. And if we get the opportunity down here filling this zone, if we get the opportunity at 52, I think those are all good DCA areas. That being said, if we look at the Thor calls here, we have a lot of Thor shorts in seemingly the same ranges. So Thor sees a lot of data points in these ranges. What I kind of feel, what I kind of see, what I'm getting off of market sentiment, some people feeling bullish, some people feeling bearish. I feel like anything within this zone is just noise. You have people accumulating and you have people getting bored and thinking the bull run's over. People that get bored are selling. People that are smart are accumulating. And I think until we break highs or until we break this low, everything in here is just kind of noise. And I'm not making any strong reactions. The only reactions that I'm making is to look to DCA if I'm giving these lower opportunities. If you didn't DCA here, maybe consider to. Otherwise, look to buy down here at the 56 or the 52. Thor has several short calls posted in this range, right? So wouldn't be surprised if we pump up, we come down to retest these EMAs, right? That seems completely normal. We do have a big bullish call posted again. We had a call up here at around 84K that was erased once we lost these EMAs. Once we got down here and we started filling the zone, it was actually erased. Now that we're starting to leg up a little bit, Thor has actually posted another call all the way up here at 84K with a retest down to about 76, 75, just above these all-time highs. So what Thor is saying is not that this is the end of the bull run, but if we break up and we break out and we get to 84K, look for us to come down and retest 75K before continuing the bull run or maybe meeting a lower high showing signs that we may break down. All Thor is saying is if we pump to 74, it's highly likely that we retest 75 before we continue up significantly higher or before we begin a true breakdown. Keep those zones in mind. Our DCA areas have been strong so far, 52, 56. I'm not getting shaken out of my Bitcoin. If anything, maybe look to open a perpetual and take advantage of some of these. but I am not selling my valuable Bitcoin that I have worked for a 2% call. I am not selling my valuable Bitcoin that I've worked for to try to buy it back in 3 and 4% cheaper. I am not doing that. These are significant zones. A lot of people, not financial advice, we don't advocate this, but some people use Thor as a leverage cheat code. We're not advocating leveraging. I'm not even advocating selling your spot bag. You may just want to look at a simple perpetual contract if you want to play these zones. Don't get shaken out of your Bitcoin because we're trapped in a zone of noise. Do what smart money's doing. They're still accumulating. Look at the metrics. Good buddy and one of the Frog fam brought up to us today, Alpha Profits brought up that right now the fair value price for creating a Bitcoin, for mining a Bitcoin, is sitting right here about 59.9. I believe is what we said. So right here, where we've seen these low supports, except for this moment of capitulation, right? So remember, if the miners have to pay at least 59.9 to accumulate a Bitcoin, Bitcoin should stay somewhat above those levels. Let's zoom out for a second before we get into the altcoins, because this is ultra important. I'm going to go on to the weekly. We've talked about this several times, looking at Bitcoin on the weekly. But you just got to keep this in mind from week to week, even as from week to week we seem a little red, a little bearish. What happens every time, and we have a Thor long call, should join the Telegram group if you're not already. Okay, what happens every time that we have the halving, we're retesting all-time highs, and the RSI is getting pumped up on the weekly. You can see each time what has happened when we're retesting the last all-time high and the RSIs are getting high on the weekly. Look at the pump that follows. We're still in our price block. We're in our price block of noise. There's no reason to think that, history doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. There's no reason to think that this won't be similar, even if we drop down to find support on the long-term EMA. What's that bring us to? That brings us down here to the 52. What were we just talking about in the shorter time frame chart? Go back to 4 hour. Where were our DCA zones? Remember, if we get down 62, if we don't hold the 56 like we did before, that will fill the zone here, fill this gap, bring us down to 52 and put us right on the support that we're looking for. Don't get bearish right now in the bull run. Look to add to your bags in good DCAs. Look to maybe open perpetuals and short. Don't get caught without your spot when the market starts to move. Altcoins. We go straight to Solana. We're just talking about Solana when I say altcoins. What do we have? We have this gold zone that we established. Why did we establish this zone? Because when we ran from $20 up to $125, we had a small dip and then we had a straight breakout again. And we never really came and retested this zone. We've now got 1, 2, 3 pins to the low, and we said, hey, if we're given this could be one of the best entries we get for the rest of the bull run if we can hold support the same way we had here in these levels. Thor still has lots of short calls posted. All these shorts. Remember, you got to go bullish to get to a short. We have to pump from 140 to 200 to fill the short. We have to pump up to 225 to fill the short. These are just healthy retests. Now, if we do go bearish, we do have a Thor call sitting down here at 67. With my own TA filling the gaps like we talk about, Like I said, I think this is a significant zone here. That was a good DCA. Our next DCA zones would be filling the gap here right at 90, 70, 80. And if we lose that zone, this is a significant line. This is my own indicator that shows us one price action would be down 60% from the last high, right? So when would we hit 60% down from this last pump and major resistance? That would put us right here. So if we lose this gap, we could see capitulation, bring us down here, give us those entries of 66. However, this THOR entry of 66 becomes invalidated and erased if we break the last local high here at 190. Just like those low longs are eliminated if we break the local high at 72, it's the same thing for Solana. If we just break that last local high, those shorts are invalidated. So remember, we called this zone. We didn't think we would hit it so quickly. We thought we would stay more along this trend line. And we said, hey, if we get in this area, this could be a great area to DCA. We hit it faster than we thought. That doesn't change our plan, though. What do we want to see to go bullish? That's what we all want at this point, right? Is to go bullish. What do I personally need to see? What I personally need to see is this zone here. This zone that has been significant. We blew through, we dropped through, resistance, resistance. We blew right through it again and now found resistance on. If we can regain up here above 160 and hold above here, I'm feeling ultra bullish for what's to come. We may visit these zones first. Again, just like Bitcoin trapped in an area of significant noise, same thing for me in Solana. Until we're breaking higher highs or making lower lows, we're just an area of noise that is typical in a bull run that we often see. If you look at THOR, you can see we still have these big dailies, but 72K, 72K, 72K. That's when all these shorts invalidate. Or I'm sorry, when all these longs invalidate, saying we're not going short down to these zones. Remember, we got to dip into the areas of the long. If we pump up to 72K, THOR says, there's not a very good probability that we're going to dip and down to these zones again. Keep that in mind. Solana is stacked up a whole bunch of calls. If you don't understand the charts and what we just went through, you can always just come into THOR if you have frogs. This is the power of frogs. You can look at the calls and say, okay, I want to take this long call. I want to manage my risk. I don't want to lose more than $50 on this trade. Calculate. It tells you I should be buying 1.36 SOL at $65.22. I am going to take my profits on that 1.36 SOL at $114.33. If the trade goes the other way, I'm going to cut my losses at 28, and that's going to give me a stop loss. I'm going to lose $50. At that stop loss, I will have managed my risk to not lose more than $50. You can do this with longs. You can do this with shorts. You can do this with all the assets and all the calls that you see here. All of these calls that THOR provides on all these different assets tell you exactly where to get in, where to get out, and you can figure out how to manage the risk based on your individual risk tolerance. This is powerful as fuck if you don't understand what I'm saying. Please do some research. If trading, if charts, if these numbers still are like, this hurts my brain, I don't understand what's going on, CyberFrogs makes it even easier with an auto THOR contract. An auto THOR contract, you put in USDC, you put in Solana in a ratio based on what THOR is currently holding, and what THOR does is it automatically trades between Solana and USDC. It automatically stakes your SOL in USDC. We currently have just under 1.5 mil TVL locked in the contract. So if you weren't selling your SOL at 185 and 179 and 170 on the last run, and you're accumulating heavy down here at 148, down here 143, and buying these lows at 135 with your SOL, maybe you want to consider opening a contract. You're only taxed on your profits. The more frogs you have, the more you save on your taxes. Our entire ecosystem is powered by Kira. I'm not going to get deep into it. I'm not shilling. I'm literally just showing you this chart. And if you don't understand the charts at this point from what I've shown you week to week, look back from week to week at the charts, at the market flow recordings. Start to get an understanding. I'm not going to shill. I'm not going to tell you to buy. I'm just simply showing you the chart. Jupiter is something I want to talk about because I am so incredibly bullish on Jupe. We knew this zone we were going to see a lot of bouncing and activity in because of how we blew right through it. Once again, if you're not getting things at a discount, you're paying a premium. So we had DCA levels that we wanted to hit. We saw the strong supports here. Once we started to break out, we said, okay, our next DCA is 91, down here at 81. If we lose 81, expect to drop all the way to 71, and we got these perfect entries. We have been talking about this 71 entry on Jupiter ever since Jupiter broke out here past $1. Ever since it broke out here past $1, we've been hoping we could get that 71 entry. Are you panicking now that we're here at 71 and you're getting an entry that we wished we could get as far back as the middle of March? As far back as the middle of March, I've been excited to hopefully get Jupiter at 71 cents again. Here it is. What are you doing? Are you taking what you wish you got, or are you shitting the bed and letting go of your Jupiter right now? Not financial advice. Do your own research. These were levels that we were hoping to see again, and now we are. Jupiter, one thing that I'm ultra bullish on, remember, perpetuals. You can use the perpetuals to take these short calls if you don't want to sell your spot bags. One thing I am super bullish on and I use a lot, if you go to trade DCA, I want to buy Solana anywhere under a certain price. I want to buy Jupiter every 10 minutes. I want an order of Jupiter to go through for my $500 if Jupiter is under the price of 75 cents. If Jupiter is under 75 cents, Jupiter is going to be automatically buying and DCAing into that area for me. If you don't understand these tools, maybe you shouldn't really be trading yet to a high level, high degree. Please do some research. There are two things in trading to make you a profitable trader: finding yourself on the right side of probability and managing risk. That's exactly what I just showed you how to do using THOR. THOR puts you on the right side of probability of entrance and exit, and it shows you how to manage your risk. You do those two things, you will find yourself a profitable trader, regardless of knowing how to read a chart or not. Frogs fuck, Thor Prince. We're here on Tuesday evenings. We're here with Marketflow on Thursday mornings. We got Dregs on Wednesday evenings decoding the market for us. We got Rumpty Monday in Cyber Dojo. And of course, we've got on Twitter every Friday, Cyber Frogs. Come join us. If you don't understand what's going on yet, you're the one that's leaving yourself behind because we're making money here. Frogs fuck Thor Prince. See y'all next week. Enjoy your weekend.